Welcome to Out of Left Field, my friends. Thank you so much for watching. We really do appreciate your time. I'm Ken Cara. Brendan Brobst and Ryan Soanes are two incredibly talented basketball players, but over the years they were on a number of teams that just didn't win a lot of games. Then in the winter of 2023, they had a shot to make the state playoffs with the MMI Preparatory School in Freeland, but a last-second heave from near midcourt went in and devastated the Preppers, and just like that, their season was over. Brobst and Soanes were both seniors this past season, and they put in a lot of hard work, along with their teammates, to make sure that they would finally get their long-awaited storybook ending. And you guys go way back. I mean, I think I read in the newspaper and everything that back to grade school. Where was that grade school? And tell me about the friendship back then.
Freeland Elementary, right across the street. Okay. This journey started in 3rd grade. We were in the same CYO teams and tournament teams, and our bond grew from there.
You really like English. I believe you're going to college for that, or you're planning on studying that. This was like a storybook season. How would you write it? How would you tell this story?
I would tell it from the beginning, in 3rd grade, like I said, with all the tournament teams and coming up through middle school, having bad seasons in our sophomore and junior year, not bad, but underwhelming. And then to be at this moment, to be with my best friend, he's having his greatest year of basketball, I'm having my greatest year of basketball, you couldn't write it any better.
I mentioned it for the players, asking if they took a moment to enjoy. I read in the Standard Speaker, the final quote you had was advice, I think, from somebody to enjoy it. You know, it's to enjoy the ride. And you mentioned, I forget if it was like 5 games in 8 days or more. Talk about that aspect of it. Did you enjoy it? Did you take in that?
When you're going through it, you don't really realize it. But until someone you respect tells you that, you're like, yeah, but you really do. You enjoy. What you miss now is being on the bus and coming to practice. We're only like 4 days away from it, but you sort of miss that. I mean, there was the back-to-back days, and we went from Gailton to Easton. You know what I mean? In a week, and Minersville and Marts Hall. So we were all over the state. It actually felt, because 2 of those games we were on break. We were on a break, so it almost felt like a college atmosphere, that we're getting up practicing and getting up going to games, and it was a lot of fun.
What was a special moment for you that you remember? Whether it was one of those big games or was it just a moment with the guys this season?
Well, all of that stuff is, and I do tell them that all the time. That's more what you remember. To me, the high point game, when we won that game, to watch the team celebrate. Yeah. A lot of fun. That was a lot of fun. District champion at Mohegan Sun's, great, and but to advance to that next game in the States and that survive an advanced game, that's important.
Describe your role on the team. What do you think your kind of role was for the team this year?
I didn't take that many shots this year. I wish I would have took more, but more of like a defensive role. Yeah. And I'd still get points. I'd still get like 10 points a game. I mean, not bad. More defensive though.
When did you start taking that role? Because I did read in the newspaper that you were kind of maybe guarding the number 1 each night. When did you kind of take on that role and talk about working into it?
I think last year. I was guarding those bigger kids last year as well. But this year, I don't know, coach just put me on them, put me on those guys, and I just did it. It's fun. It's a fun thing to do. I mean, it feels like you're actually really helping the team out in the game and during the game.
You seem confident in that respect. Like, that never intimidated you? Is that just your personality to be like, all right, yeah, I'll give it a try?
Yeah, no, I like going out there and doing that. It's fun for me. So that doesn't scare me at all.
When did you feel it started happening? Like, when do you think people started noticing and maybe just paying a little bit more attention? Was it at a certain point in the season? Was it the postseason?
I think it was the postseason. I mean, they did pay attention to us during the season, especially after we beat Nanticoke, because no one ever thought we would do that, especially coming into the season. They didn't have the best season, but they were still a bigger school than us. Yeah. Got Jaden Johnson, he's a huge kid and tough to guard, but yeah.
How good did it feel as maybe you knew you were making that name for yourselves again and establishing MMI?
It felt very good for me personally and as a team, seeing our name in the paper every night and having articles written about us, and the more and more people coming into the crowd, and you see faces that you don't normally see. It's very exciting, and it felt like a big event every night while we were playing. I remember in Anika, like we like in a gym where we wouldn't have a big student section, we had the whole place filled, and that felt very good coming out and seeing that.
How nice was it for you to see the spotlight shine on these kids and people get to know the Ryan Sones?
And you know what? We had a bunch of heroes on this team all year. One of the biggest shots of the year, Lex Gillespie hit a 3 to win an Anaco game. No one talks about that, but he hit a 3 at the buzzer, and he guarded the team's best guard every night. Edgar Rodriguez, in that High Point game, we had gotten some foul trouble. He got a huge offensive rebound that led to a 3 that really put us ahead to stay. So every player, Reed Florshak, every player that we used all year really contributed to this, and that's what made it really special.
What's one play that sticks out in your mind with Ryan this season that maybe you'll look back on a highlight, tell kids, grandkids about, something you remember?
Nah, the 1,000-point, the 1,000-point bucket in Gailton. That's off my assist, so we're gonna go it. I contributed to that, so that would definitely remember that for a while.
Did you try to plan it out like that, where you're like, maybe I'll miss this one, and I know it's a state playoff game?
It was definitely important that it came from Brendan. Him being by my side all these years, that's what made it extra special to me.
You mentioned you guys always kind of knew that there was some talent between the two of you. What made this year's team and this version of the Preppers so good when you looked around and you said, wow, we're able to take it to the next level? Obviously, it was the other players. What did they bring?
No, just going through, like I said, like going through all the rough times and being able to build on that as a team. I mean, it's definitely a team. Like I said, like our defense was insane. Like we've had a lot of guys that stepped up to the challenge and guarded some really tough kids and really talented kids. So being able to do that is not easy, but like our defense definitely helped a lot, and just that high energy. There's a lot of we had a lot of energy guys in the gym, and that definitely helps a lot. So always keeping the intensity up and always competing.
Kind of the same question, Ryan. Anything you want to end on, or anything I didn't ask about?
I just want to say that I'm proud of all these kids, all the coaches. I love them so much. They're near to my heart. They always will be. I appreciate all the opportunity and everything that the school has given me, and I'm very satisfied. And there's a lot of sleep that I can get at night knowing that it ended like this.